What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On this week's episode, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and just thought about sitting here and talking about something that I think is necessary to be talked about in the traditional community, and not only the traditional community, but for the people who are aspiring to make the jump, either to pick up a recurve to begin with, or moving from compound over to traditional. It is a journey, and that there is going to be points where you're going to, in order to grow, in order to expand your skill and expand your capabilities, you're going to have to make some decisions on your own and figure things out for yourself. A journey is being defined as something that's a long trip. It's a marathon, not a sprint. There's lots of ups and downs along the way to get from point A to point B, and you may not even know for sure what point B is, if there is a point B. And that's exactly what traditional archery is. You're starting out, you don't know how far you're going to go with it. You may never figure out how far you're going to go with it. You may get to a point where you're satisfied. You may never be satisfied to the point that you want to quit. You may be never satisfied to the point that you want to keep pushing, keep going forward. With the highs and lows, there's going to be a lot of those. There's going to be points where you have target panic, or really dealing with shot anticipation. There's going to be times where you feel like you're doing everything right, but you just can't hit anything. Maybe you're hitting high, hitting low. There's going to be points where you feel super confident, like you can't miss, and times where you feel like the bow shouldn't even be taken off the wall because you're not going to hit anything you're trying to aim at. There's a lot of highs and lows. And let's say you do run into a problem. You can't figure it out. You can't get past it the way other people are telling you to do it. And so you just kind of struggle on with it. And you're going to have those problems. So let me be fully clear on that. That's part of the reason I want to do this video. Is I think that there's a lot of romanticizing about traditional archery, because it is a very reminiscent or romanticized sport, just because of its inherent nature. Men like Fred Bear, Glenn St. Charles, you name it, pioneers of archery and bow hunting in general, doesn't matter what method. That's what they used. The Native Americans, all the ancient civilizations, they used traditional archery equipment, right? It's only been up until the past however many years, 50, 60 years, that we've been using more modern equipment. But there is that allure, that romantic side of wanting to pick up a traditional bow, but it seems to really get left out of the conversation that it's, again, a journey, and it's a difficult one if you care. And the reason I say you care is because I was talking about those issues that you're going to run into, that you're going to have a hard time finding the answers to your questions. If you don't care, then you'll probably just quit shooting a stick bow. If you do care, you're going to search and search and search until you find the answer for you. So that's, to get everything out in the open. Everything about traditional, whether you've been shooting it for years or you're new, it's a difficult road ahead. And if you care about doing it again, it's going to be an ever-evolving thing. As you get past this hurdle, you're going to hit another one. And what you're going to find, though, is even though you may sometimes feel like you're one step forward, two steps back, again, that marathon, not the sprint, you're going to end up better overall. But sometimes it's slow seeing it. That's why it's a very satisfying way to shoot, because once you get past hurdles and things start clicking and firing on all cylinders, it really starts to just hit you and connect and come into focus, the harmony that comes with the fact that you are using your physical body to replicate consistency out of this, because the only thing this can consistently do is draw back and come forward pushing an arrow out. That's all this bow does. You're doing everything else. Once you come to some of those hurdles, some of them are going to be things that are specific to you. Some of them are going to be things that everybody deals with, like shot anticipation. Everybody deals with shot anticipation one way or the other. Granted, there are guys out there that can see their spot, draw back, you know, release the arrow whenever they want and hit that spot. That is not me. That may not be you either. I do these videos and I try to help you guys as much as I can because I care. I want to make this information accessible. What I know, I want to make it accessible to whoever wants to watch it and watch my stuff and share it, and to help the people in this community, because I do care about the traditional community very much. I want to help those people as much as possible, and the people that are new to it, I want to give them as good a start and trajectory as I possibly can, with my knowledge of the fundamentals. Now, anything past that, you know, I would definitely encourage anybody to seek wiser, more experienced individuals. But I am as flawed and as human as everybody else. I struggle with plenty of stuff when it comes to this bow. I am kind of coming to the grips with the fact that I may not ever, even if I wanted to, not saying I really want to, but even if I wanted to shoot, let's say, competition, Ethan Page, probably won't ever be able to do that because I have to shoot with a some type of a triggered release. I do not possess the abilities to long-term uh, draw a bow and look at the spot I want to hit and just release the arrow with no trigger of any kind except just me walking through my process. I don't possess that ability. As hard as I've tried several different methods, but at the end of the day, even though I have a pretty repeatable shot process, I have control of my shot process, I just slip right back into that dark space of having that shot anticipation, and it quickly takes back over, and I'm right back to a triggered release again. So that's okay though. I'm all right with that, and I accept that because uh, even though there's people out there that disagree with it, you're probably not ever going to be trad enough in everybody's eyes. But what you're gonna realize is that if you kind of follow your own path, your own trajectory, and work things out for yourself that make sense to you, um, whether that's pulling from this person and this person to contribute to your journey, then you're going to have a better overall product. So like I said, for me, I've tried several other things, and I am pretty well stuck with a triggered release at this time until something else presents itself that maybe allows me to make some transition and all that. If that's you, that's perfectly normal. You have problems that you're going to encounter that are inevitable, and there don't feel like there's something wrong with you because the answer you're finding isn't the answer for you. That's the short, I guess, all encompassing topic to this video is the answers out there that you find, whether it's from me or anybody else, may not be the answer for you. And I found that a lot, and that's where a lot of my growth came from, is by getting over the fact that it's not that there's something wrong with me, that the keys that were being given to me by others, people of more reputable a source, those were not working for me because they aren't going to work for me. There's going to come a point where you're just going to have to decide that it's your journey and take control and do what's going to work for you, that makes you repeatable, consistent, and confident. Because above all else, when it comes to a stick bow, if you're not confident, you've already lost the battle. there's a lot of other things and ways of hunting and bow hunting, shooting, whatever, that you cannot be super duper confident but get by. One of these is not it. If you go into a practice session not confident, you're going to do poorly. If you go into a hunt not confident, you're probably going to eat your tag. If you approach this in general with lack of confidence, you're never going to grow. So you have to take your journey in all this, your style, uh, your way of doing things, your approach, all encompassing, and grab those bits and pieces from everybody else and mix that up in a bowl and try to come up with what is your method, your way that works for you, that you can own it. If that's doing everything that Joel Turner says to do everything he says to do. If that's doing everything that Tom Clum says to do everything he says to do. But if one of those two or whoever else maybe doesn't have their answer is not working for you, it's not going to work for you. So you might have to get by that hurdle by taking control and figuring out exactly what you need to do. And sometimes that's not easy, but in the long run, you're going to find yourself being more confident and more accurate by worrying less about what someone says that's right or wrong. Just because it's right or wrong for them, it may not be wrong for you. So I know this was kind of a jumbled thing, but it's something that I've been kind of working through lately for myself with the whole triggered release thing. And I felt like it's a topic that is taboo and needs to be got out in the open, and I've got no problem using my platform to do so. I hope some of this made sense, and I hope that if you guys are either new or have been shooting a stick bow for a while and you're hitting some of those hurdles, that you'll seek as many sources as you possibly can to overcome that hurdle. Own the one that works for you and don't listen to what anybody else says. If it works for you and it allows you to confidently draw your bow with proper form and execution and make a good shot, at the end of the day, that is all that matters. If you can't shoot 40 yards, 50 yards, 60 yards, whatever, and you only feel confident in holding good tight groups and hitting exactly what you're trying to hit to 15 yards, that's you. Own it. Don't let anybody else tell you that you're wrong for it. And then adverse, if you're one of those people that's very accurate and confident out to 40 yards and you feel like you can make that shot all day long because you've trained it, you've practiced it, and you're truly confident in making a longer shot like that, whether it's on a target or on an animal and the situation's right, that's you, that's your confidence level. Own it. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because they're not you. So anyway, again, sorry for the jumbled mess. This probably isn't the kind of video you guys were wanting to see, and YouTube probably won't circulate it, and it probably won't get very many views. But I just wanted to talk about that, be very transparent with that, that I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, and that no one person is going to have the answer for you. And to really take control of your own journey with traditional archery and make it yours. Make it your lifestyle with a stick bow, and the choices that you want to make are your own, and love it. It's like anything else, whether it's training a dog or raising children. Take it, own it. It's yours. It's your baby. Love it and enjoy it, and do the best that you can. And because you did it, you're going to be so much more proud in the long run of what you've been able to accomplish. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like it if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you get notified. And if you don't, I apologize. YouTube claims they don't do this, but I know that for a fact they do. Get out, guys, and just try to make the most of your practice sessions. And if you're struggling with something, just keep your cool. Don't try to shoot through it. Just think your way through it and make the right decisions. And remember that it's not short term, that some of these problems you run into could take years to resolve themselves. So thanks for watching, guys. Check back in next time, and get out, shoot straight.